Today's guest was a treat for me. I am so impressed by this young lady. Aishwarya Gupta is a 16-year-old high school student who took it upon herself to reach out to the women in her community. And she went one step further by starting a podcast and interviewing some of these women about their mental health. And she did that all during the pandemic in India. May is National Mental Health Month, so this interview is very timely and it's a reminder that we can do anything we put our minds to. This is an interview worth listening to. SoloMoms Talk was designed to curate the stories of solo moms globally. As a facilitator of this platform, I aim to create a peaceful environment where you can share your heart, feel loved, and get the advice you need. So if this sounds like you, why not RSVP for our next virtual meetup? The link is below. It's where you can retreat from the chaos of your life so you can recharge, connect with other moms, and get answers to your burning questions. Remember, you're not alone and you don't have to parent in silence. My guest today is Aishwarya Gupta. Welcome, Aishwarya, and I'm sorry that I may have mispronounced your name, but I thank you for being a good sport about it. Welcome to SoloMoms Talk.
Thank you so much for having me. It's great to be here.
Sure. Now, I'm going to tell everyone up front that you are only 16 years old, and this is a SoloMoms Talk show. So I want you to tell us who you are. Who is Aishwarya Gupta?
I'm a 16-year-old high school girl, and I am the host of the podcast called Make a Change. Let's strive to more unashamed conversations. I am also a blogger, I'm a writer, and as I told, I'm a host, and I'm also the founder and head of the Little Library. It's a community initiative where we have introduced the reading habits among children. So yeah, this is me in short. I am just here to prove that age is just a number.
Absolutely, yes. So tell me, what made you? I mean, most 16-year-old girls are makeup-in and TikToking and texting with boys. So what makes you special in that you are focused on helping others and living your purpose, really?
Yeah. So everything happened with the pandemic when in the year 2020, when the COVID started, I was like, everyone was going into depression. The mental health rate really increased, and situations among women also got horrible, like domestic violence. The situations were very bad, and people were not getting to know how to deal with situations. Like they faced economical crisis, they faced their family losses, and to provide them with the support to act as a pillar to them, I started with a show, Make a Change, Let's Strive to More Unashamed Conversations, in which in season one I talked all about mental health, which was all about mental health with various celebrities. And in season two, I talked on all about same with the blogs. All my blogs were on social issues.
Okay, all right. Wow, I'm so impressed. So you talk about mental health the first time because of the way you see it affecting your community, right?
Yeah.
And then the second season you talked about, what was the topic you talked about?
All
Women. Okay, all right. And may I ask you, if you don't mind, which country are you speaking from? Yes, that's one of my favorite countries. That's where a lot of my listeners come from. So thank you for being here. All right, women and mental health. Those two things are not talked about enough. And we do suffer from mental health a lot because we tend to internalize everything. We take on responsibility for everything. So what has been your experience in seeing those two dynamic, women and how we respond to mental health? What has been your experience?
When I started with the mental thing, and people are really ashamed to talk about their problems out there, and I think in most of the world, people are afraid to reach a psychiatrist because they think that they will get a tag of a mental person, a mad person. Social paths, if you are not really good with your brain, if you're not really healthy with your brain, then you cannot achieve anything.
Yes.
Everything starts from here. And as part I will think about women. Women is a issue which can, like, I think is a very major part in the, because it is not just about the crisis which we face, not like domestic violence or rapes or molestations. It's more beyond that. It's about body shaming. It's about self confidence. It's about self esteem. It's about everything. It's about
Yeah.
empowerment. And
Yes.
we give them the support. When I came across season two and when I came across my listeners, I got ways where people shared their problems, and I really thought that this topic is not as small as I think. It is really
Mm.
just not limited to two, three things. It is beyond that. So yeah, this was my experience when I worked on these two things.
Yes, yes. And it's a shame that in a lot, well, maybe in the Western world more so, is that when it comes to mental health, it just seems that unless you're an expert, you can't talk about it. But unfortunately, in your neck of the woods, as in my neck of the woods, I was born in Jamaica, we can talk about it if we're allowed, but we're not restricted by regulations, right? We could talk about it and we could talk about it freely. So that's actually a good thing where you are once you get the women to talk. So the restriction isn't by the law, the restriction is by, do people want to talk about it? And so are are women responsive to you now that you're talking about it, mental health publicly? Are they more
I
receptive?
Yeah, luckily I really got a great response. Like many
Okay.
women reached out, and my listeners also increased. Like all, most of them are females, and they are really supportive. I just got a new audience, and I'm like, as a female, I really want to give a strength them because I know what the situations are, and I know how we feel. Because
Mm.
we say, right, a female and a female connects very well because they know each other's sentiments. Yeah, I really got a good.
Yes, that's very good. And what about, do you also talk to women or girls who are at your age, like in your age group? Because I guess the teenage girls they have their own set of problems, right? So do you get those? Do you get to talk to address that audience as well?
Yeah, I address that too because not just with the podcast, not just with my show, I'm also a teenager myself. So I also talk to my friends and my colleagues. The thing which I came across is that teenage is a very typical part of our life where we get to see many changes and we need to adapt them very
Mm,
carefully because a step can it's like a single step can change our whole future, and these are very crucial stage of our life where we not really know how to deal with the things, with the emotions, because it's really hyped up. Our mental state is not as good as things because we are in that situation. We are in the situation that we are not really have the thinking that matches with the society or with our family or with our parents. So we are in
mm.
this growing stage, and we are adolescents, we are teenagers. So this stage is very crucial, and I talk to my friends, I talk to my colleagues, I talk on my show about this stuff, and it is really good. I really got good responses, and yes.
Okay, great. Absolutely great. So, what is Ashwara grateful for today?
Okay, so I'm grateful for, first of all, I'm grateful for today. I'm grateful for being here on this show, sharing my views with all of the listeners, all of your listeners. Like, I'm grateful for all the resources which I have got to contribute to the society. Because not
Uh,
everyone gets a chance to share their views out there. Not everyone gets a
yeah.
chance to make a difference.
Oh, wow. Thank you for sharing. And we all get a chance to share, but we don't always take that chance. We don't always have the courage to take the chance. And you're a courageous young lady, and I really applaud you for that. Oh, wow.
Thank
So
you.
tell me, I'm going to ask you to give me one piece of advice for a solo mom based on your experience.
Okay, so it's a little difficult for me because as like I'm not a solo mom. Okay, I'm just a
And
teenager, and I would just give advice to any solo mom listening to this lovely podcast right now. is that just have faith on yourself because life didn't end there. It wasn't there for any A to Z reasons. And you have that courage to raise a child. You have that courage to go out in the world and take a step. Just don't limit yourself into some things. Explore yourself and uh, just go out in the world and enjoy, live your life, and explore as much as you can, and just show out the world what you are capable. And that is only just possible if you have that faith on yourself, that confidence on yourself, and never underestimate your capabilities because you are in the stage, and that's a big achievement.
Okay, you don't have to be a solo mom to give good advice. Thank you. That is awesome. Thank you very much. Anything else? Like, tell us how we could reach you, how we could get in touch with you, how we could, consume your podcast. Tell us the podcast name, if you have a website where we could find you, your Instagram profile, anything like that.
So it's really easy peasy to connect with me. You can connect with me anytime. You can share your thoughts with me. You can ask me questions. You can tell me to what topics should I make episodes on. And you can be one of my listeners. And great to have you on board. So my show's name is Make a Change. Let's strive to more unashamed conversation. It's on various other platforms like Fast Radio Host, etc., etc. And my Instagram ID is Aishwarya_, where you can just DM me with your thoughts and your reviews on the show. I would love to have you. You can also mail me. You can tag me on Instagram with your ideas, with your things, with the hashtag Make a Change Community. Just come and give your views and collaborate in this step in making a difference. And my website for my blogs is beafan.com.
Be a fan. Oh, okay, I love that. And we'll put all those links in the show notes so people could, have access to them. Yeah? Okay. All right. One last question. Do you practice self-care and what does that look like for you?
Okay, so that's a very good question because and everyone's self-care routine is different. For me, I do journaling to write down my thoughts because I would not lie with you all because I'm a really overthinking personality. So writing down thoughts really helps me in managing things and in organizing stuff. So for me, self-care is like writing down thoughts, sharing my views with my little sister, and it's all about sharing my views to all of you. That's my self-care routine.
Okay. What does your parents think about you and, all the work that you're doing?
Yeah.
What do they say?
My parents are really supportive and they always supported with me with the things. I started with my show when I was 14, and at that time I was like, how will people react? Who will listen to a 14-year-old girl giving advices on mental health? Like a 40-year-old man will listen to a 14-year-old, like they would be like underestimating me what she will give advices to. Instead we can go to a psychiatrist or a counselor. So, and you will not believe, but I got such reviews, and I also got some really positive views that I'm doing some amazing work, and my thinking and the material which I post or I add to is really good. And sometimes people judge me like I'm not 14 or I'm not 16. I'm much older than that. As part of my parents, they always supported me. My dad always tells me to give my best in everything, and my mom always here there to give me new ideas and cheer me up. So I'm really thankful for that.
Awesome. Yeah, and you're right. Age is just a number. You're wise beyond your years, and I really appreciate you coming and talking to us. And we get to share that wisdom that you have. And thank you.
Thank you so much for having me. This is a really wonderful podcast I came across, and this is a very, really good thing that you're doing for everyone, especially solo moms, because the time period they go through is very difficult because
Yeah.
they have to fight with themselves and also with the society.
Yes. Yes. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thanks for listening. Are you still setting New Year's resolutions only to ditch it halfway through January? Or are you struggling to keep up with life because it seems you've lost control? Sign up for Successful Goal Setting Strategies for Solo Moms and let me walk you through setting up a plan for your life based on your birthdays. Join the waitlist below and put a plan in place so you can have joy in the middle of life's chaos. Remember, you're not alone and you don't have to parent in silence. Thanks for listening. Are you still setting New Year's resolutions only to ditch it halfway through January? Or are you struggling to keep up with life because it seems you've lost control? Sign up for Successful Goal Setting Strategies for Solo Moms and let me walk you through setting up a plan for your life based on your birthdays. Join the waitlist below and put a plan in place so you can have joy in the middle of life's chaos. Remember, you're not alone and you don't have to parent in silence.